Live from downtown Salt Lake City, this is 2 News at Noon.
Hello everyone. TJ here. Welcome to News 2. We are live at the Salt Lake City Capitol. As you might have heard, there was a glitchy spot that was 20 meters wide near the Capitol building yesterday. This glitchy spot contained a hole within the center. Anybody who touches the center of this spot will disappear instantly. The Salt Lake City Police Department is trying to contain this situation and are trying to get rid of the spot. Forgot to mention, there is a chance that you will die there even when you are near the hole. You can recognize this spot by their looks. Little bits ranging from 1 mm to 25 centimeters. Have a large variety of different colors, all clustered together. This is TJ from News 2. We will sign off. We recommend you to tune into media outlets for more information for now.
Cats versus pickles have babies! Kittens versus gherkins! Babies so small!
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Salt Lake City Police Department. This is not a test. To repeat, this is not a test. At 10:34 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, the glitchy spot that was reported by state officials at the Capitol building has rapidly expanded to over 230 meters wide, and the hole that was in the center is also over 120 meters wide. Many people have gone missing by touching this glitchy spot or the hole that was contained in the center of that spot. The spot, like I mentioned earlier, has engulfed homes and even the Capitol building. However, it is optional if you want to evacuate. Gather the following supplies such as food, water, clothing, medical supplies, a hand crank or battery-powered radio with extra batteries to start your trip. The police are out to help people with evacuation orders. You can also recognize the glitchy spot by the following characteristics. Bits that sizes ranging from 1 mm to 10 centimeters. Have a range of random color and the bits clustered together. Do not pick up relatives from schools or hospitals as they have their own evacuation procedures. Tune into news stations providing news and information on this situation.
Strong, and once it's on, it holds on tight. And for emergency auto repair, Flex Tape keeps its grip, even in the toughest conditions. Big storms can cause big damage, but Flex Tape...
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Salt Lake City Police Department. This is not a test. To repeat, this is not a test. At 4 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, the glitchy spot that was reported by state officials at the Capitol building has rapidly expanded to over 2 meters wide, and the hole that was in the center is also over 1 kilometer wide. Thousands of people have gone missing by touching this glitchy spot or the hole that was contained in the center of that spot. This spot has destroyed many districts and neighborhoods. There were also bits from this glitchy bit cluster spot reported outside of the spot's areas. You must evacuate to different parts of Utah or other surrounding states. Gather the following useful items: food, water, clothing, medical supplies, hand crank or battery-powered radio with extra batteries, ID, money, important documents and personal belongings. Evacuate now. Do not delay. Evacuate now. If you don't, you are putting your life at risk, as this spot will not stop growing until all of Salt Lake City is completely destroyed.
just wish he knew.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test to repeat. This is not a test. At 5:00 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, the corruption that originated from Salt Lake City has begun engulfing states. The following states that were engulfed by this giant spot are Utah, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho and Montana. If you live in the following states: Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Louisiana, Arkansas and Missouri, you must evacuate to eastern parts of the United States because these states are expected to be annihilated by this corruption within the next 10 hours. If you live in the following states: California, Oregon and Washington, you cannot evacuate. You cannot fly over this spot because you will likely also disappear. If you live in these following states, you are asked to do the following instructions. Choose or buy a private ship at any choice or go to the public cruise ships that are being set up in the following cities: Cocos Bay, Oregon; Los Angeles, California; San Francisco, California and Seattle, Washington. If choose any of these choices, make sure to gather the following supplies, such as food, water, clothing, medical supplies, hand crank or battery-powered radio with extra batteries and gasoline, unless if you are going on your private ship for the duration of this emergency. But don't worry, cruise ships will be set up on the East Coast in the following cities: Washington, D.C., Miami, Florida, Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, Baltimore, Maryland, Atlantic City, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New York City, New York, Providence, Rhode Island and Boston, Massachusetts. The East Coast ships will leave within 24 hours as the West Coast ships will leave within 4 hours. This has been a civil danger warning for all of the United States. This is an emergency action notification requested by the White House to participate in this emergency. All radio and cable systems shall transmit this message. This station has interrupted its regular programming. This emergency, most stations will remain on the air to provide news and information to the public and assigned areas. This is WNAC-TV. We will continue to serve the Providence area. If you do not live in this local area, tune into stations providing news and information for your local area. We will continue to serve official news and instructions for the Providence area. Do not use the telephone line. The telephone lines shall be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated. Following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. Repeating. This is not a test. At 7:00 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The corruption that originated from Salt Lake City, Utah has annihilated all of the West Coast and parts of the East Coast. This corruption has also annihilated parts of Canada and Mexico. The West Coast ships have set sail already, and the East Coast ships are leaving within 2 hours. If you are listening to this broadcast, you must immediately go to one of these ships immediately. Gather any items you think is necessary to use and evacuate to one of these ships immediately. Do not leave pets or children alone at your/their house, because millions of people have gone missing by touching this corruption. All of the West Coast ships have set sail to Australia, and the East Coast ship will set sail to the United Kingdom. Evacuate to one of the ships now. Repeating. Evacuate to one of these ships immediately. If you don't, you will be facing certain death. Please stand by while we play one last playing of the national.
This is BBC Television from London. Normal programming has been suspended. This is BBC Television from London. Normal programming has been suspended. This is BBC Television from London. Normal programming has been suspended.
This is an emergency warning requested by the United Kingdom government. Repeating. This is an emergency warning. The corruption that originated from Salt Lake City has obliterated all countries across the globe except for this country, Ireland, France, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, Germany and Denmark, and has spread to the Europe continent. It has already wiped out Scotland and parts of Northern Ireland. In addition, this corruption has caused many severe weather side effects such as high temperatures reaching up to 125 to 195 degrees and 235 degrees possible for some areas, extreme dust storms, ash, flying debris due to the Earth's core going missing from the corruption. The King has declared a state of emergency in response to this cataclysmic event. There is nothing we can do to stop the corruption from annihilating the rest of the United Kingdom. You are advised to gather all of your loved ones such as friends, family members, pets and belongings and await for your inevitable death. Repeating. There is nothing we can do to stop the corruption from annihilating the rest of the United Kingdom. At the conclusion of this broadcast, all internet and television services will cease transmission. Every country left will now play their national anthem for the final time. We thank your attention during this doomsday.